And a very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hannah, it's launch week!
It's launch week, I'm excited!
Oh, good afternoon, guys, from the UK, and welcome to the Easy Level Up Videocast, where we talk all things gaming every single week. Hannah, how are you?
I am very excited, probably a bit too excited, Tom. A bit sweaty. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Maybe that's the dancing we do before every single live stream.
But we tried to keep it a bit on the low today. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Because we've got special guests, so we were trying to not dance as much.
Oh dear. Oh well. Hopefully, the guys were dancing in chat as well. So talking of chat, who do we have over? We've got some people over on Twitch. So good afternoon to you guys. If you are joining us, please let us know in the comments that you are here. But so yeah, guys, I think we should crack on with it. We'll shout you out.
Hi to Lara as well. Thanks, Lara, for being here.
Hey, Lara.
Tom, how are you? I didn't ask you. Are you okay?
I'm good. Nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's one of those things, like I always get nervous before a live stream, and then it happens, and I'm like, cool, I'm in it now. I'm ready to go. Talk all things gaming. So,
well, Tom, I am going to tell you that I've aptly named our videocast for November, and I've aptly named it Next Gen November.
Next Gen November. I like it.
And this is our second week of Next Gen November.
We've been doing a lot. So yeah, last week we did Series X, did a deep dive into Series X, spoke about what we're most looking forward to and all those features. So if you did miss last week, jump back. There's a video on demand available still on Twitch and is available on our YouTube All Things Microsoft channel as well to watch back if you did miss it. Always greatly appreciated.
Indeed.
But what we're talking about this week, Hannah, who have we got?
Oh my God. So we have an old faithful guest and a brand new special guest today from the Xbox category team, which is super excited. And we're going to be talking things. I've done everything to do with the Xbox Series S today, and trying to keep it experience-based. We had a lot of tech and specs last week. So this week we're going to do Series X. We're going to keep it experience-based, so we can see how Xbox fans would benefit from the amazing Series S console. And all day long, I won't be able to speak because I'm excited. I've just been looking at pictures of Valhalla as well all day, so my words are just not going to come out of my mouth properly. So I hope you can forgive me because I'm just so excited.
It should be good. Should we crack on though? Shall we crack on?
Let's do it.
Cool. Who have we got? Who have we got joining us?
Drum roll, please. Our old faithful guest. It is the really cool Rich, ladies and gentlemen. Boop, boop,
Here he is.
All right. Okay. I have to stop you right there. Can we stop saying old? Old
faithful.
Old faithful. Oh man. You know what I mean? We spoke about this beforehand and addressed my age, and now you're pointing into stream and addressing me as old faithful. Like a horse that you need to put down.
No, it's the favorite, isn't it? It's the ones that always come through, always they're dependable and reliable. Rich.
You know what I think your problem is? Too much Red Dead Redemption. You need a new game.
Why is there Red Dead Redemption? Don't start me on this. It's the best game ever. Are you well, Rich?
I'm all right. Or apart from being addressed as old at least twice already this stream, I'm fine. So
to be honest, you did come into last week's one of the previous streams and just gave some really big sass. So I think we're just getting you back for the sass you gave last stream.
Right, it's revenge.
Pretty much.
Well, that taught me.
Oh dear.
You're funny. Anyway, moving on from this guest, our esteemed Rich, let's say. We now have a special guest with us today, and it's super exciting because it is launch week, and we have the terrific Trista, everybody. Come on down. Hi, Trista. How are you? Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, I'm really excited. So, Trista, you're from the Xbox category. Xbox category manager, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
That's such a title. Amazing. So could you tell us what that means and why you have bestowed your presence upon us today, please?
Yeah. So thanks. I am the hardware lead for Xbox UKI, which means that I look after all of our console and accessory sales across all of the United Kingdom and Ireland.
Awesome. What a title. We're in Xbox royalty presence, aren't we, today?
Oh,
Really?
yeah. It doesn't feel that royal, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I can definitely assume you're pretty busy right now, Trista.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Just a few things going on.
Couple of emails.
Yeah, something's going on this week. So we'll see.
Amazing. Well, you can see that everybody's really excited to have you here. We're really excited to have you here, and just grateful that you are here. And hopefully, if you enjoy the videocast, you'll be back again. That's the goal.
Right. May not be able to get rid of me. We'll see.
You never know. Never know. Permanent fixture. Permanent fixture.
That's right.
We've got Mike Anfield coming in, saying, "What a lineup of guests!" Hi, Mike. How are you?
He's referring to me, of course.
Of course. Old faithful over there.
I did it.
Oh gosh.
Oh dear. But in tradition of Videocast, Trista, we always like to get to know our guests as well as the people viewing a little bit better. So Hannah prepares some quick fire questions, which are generally this or that style questions for us. We're never given kind of a warm up. We never know what the questions are going to be. So I'll pass across to Hannah for some of her amazing.
Ooh, I'm nervous.
Quick questions. One day we need a jingle. I can't believe we don't have one yet.
We're going to get a jingle made. We need a jingle.
We need a jingle this year. Amazing. Thank you, Tom. So everybody in the chat, please answer today's quickfire questions. We will go in the theme of let's go Rich and then Trista, then Tom, and then myself. So just to get to know us all a little bit better. So question number 1 from today's quickfire questions: Guitar Hero or Dance Dance Revolution?
That's an easy one for me because I can't do either of them at all. I mean, Tom will remember my attempt at Guitar Hero over in Manchester when we were allowed out. It was the last event that we did, actually.
You played with Dave Grohl.
I did play with Dave Grohl, the Dave Grohl. I got a picture somewhere. I'll share it. But as you all know, is that I can't dance and I don't really drink. But because I do drink on celebrations, ironically, Tiger Nichols has just jumped into chat.
Mr. Dance Revolution.
And but Greg will tell you that he'd never seen me dance until we went to Seattle and celebrated. To the point where, fueled on 1 pint of beer, I will dance the entire night, if you can call it dancing. So what's
the answer then, Rich?
So it's got to be Dance Revolution, obviously.
Awesome. Cool. Trista, what would you choose?
This brings me back to my youth a bit, but DDR. That's what we called it growing up. I had a massive crush on someone in my high school days, and he was really good. Like, people would gather around him and watch him. I was not very good, but he made that a special game for me.
Okay,
amazing.
I actually have a very similar story to Trista. I'm also picking the Dance Dance Revolution genre of game because myself and my wife, or my now wife, bonded over the Just Dance games and the Connect-based games over the course of the year. So that's how we kind of initially bonded playing those games. So definitely that's the same for me.
Oh, well, I'm forever alone and I choose Guitar Hero. So there you go. I love Guitar Hero. I've got 2 left feet, so I can't play Dance Dance Revolution. And Guitar Hero, for me, it's just there's so many anthems from those games that just bring me straight back to just it's the star power and lifting the guitar up, then it will go blue. Love it. So I'm the odd one out there, but that's okay. Okay, so question number 2. Okay, so this is about fighting games, and we're kind of going still back to that retro feel. So would you choose a beat 'em up game, which is no weapons and you just with your fists, or a hack and slash game, which is where you have melee, I can't say it. Weapons. Melee. That's the one. Still can't say it. So beat 'em ups or hack and slash. What would be your go-to?
I just want to say that there's room in this world for both.
Stop sitting on the fence. Stop sitting on the fence, Rich.
I'm just telling you, because I love both. But yeah, traditional no weapons, beat 'em up style. It has to be 2D as well. I know I'm not a fan of all the 3D fighters out there. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all those things. 100%, yeah, that's it. No weapons. Hack and slash is great, but no weapons.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay.
I'd have to agree, no weapons. I tend to kind of put myself in the place of whoever I'm playing, and I feel like I just don't see myself getting like big weapons and doing that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely fists for me.
Yes, Trista.
Picking those two genres, I would pick beat 'em up as well. I'm sure Rich will remember the likelihood of Soul Blade. Original Soul Calibur games. That was where I kind of grew up with those games. So I think beat 'em up is the way that I would go forward. I'm not a fan of hack and slash titles.
Oh, well, I think we've got a full house here because beat 'em ups for me as well. Just that nostalgic. Definitely thinking about like retro style games and being in an arcade and playing Street Fighter and just punching. It's just great. Kicking and slide tackling and jumping and grabbing. Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. Okay, so 2 questions down. Third question is about survival games. So, survival games are known to have very little ammo and poor quality weaponry. Oh, goody. And your main objective is to survive. It's a survival game. So, my question to you is, if you had to play a survival game, would you prefer a usual survival game or a horror survival game?
Well, I'm not a fan of either. If I'm honest.
No, not me. This one's for Tom.
But I guess if I have to survive and stuff like that, you know what? I've just someone's just chucked into chat horror. I think I'd go with horror because there's potentially more going to happen. Yeah,
Spice it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Interesting. How about you, Trista?
Unfortunately, I can't even watch horror movies because I get bad dreams. So I'm not going to go there.
This is just regular survival. How about you, Tom?
I love the horror genre. We know this. We played Phasmophobia a couple of weeks ago, last week. I can't remember when it was now. On stream with a bunch of us. I had a great time doing it. But I really enjoy the survival type of genres. Games like The Long Dark, which is an Idea Xbox title. We've got DayZ as part of Game Pass. Like, I love playing all of those games. So just general survival for me is the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally with Trista in terms of I can't watch horror films. I can't play horror games. Somebody asked me on Instagram earlier what my favorite genre of horror game was, which is super specific. And I was like, none. Thanks. And yeah, they make me cry. But so I do like a survival adventure game. It's part of the adventure, but I prefer an adventure game where I have unlimited weaponry and everything that's going to be fine. So
you want a survival game where you can't die, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Awesome. Okay, so last question, final question. We've done 4 today because this one might take some extra thought. And the question is, if you could be any character from a video game for a day, any character from any video game, who would you be?
Oh man, that is
such a deep question.
It is.
It's a strong one.
It is. Answer in chat as well. If you could think about it, whatever video game character for one day, who would you be?
Because so many come to mind for me. I'm obviously a Street Fighter fan, so Ryu was my favorite character in that, and I love that guy. And then Rikimaru, I think, still is one of the coolest characters in any kind of video game. There are a few Final Fantasy characters that I would choose from because, you know, if you're thinking for a day and what kind of life that some of those characters have with the magic and the spells and the romance and stuff like that. Gosh, I'd have to be...
Pick anybody. You could be Pac-Man if you wanted.
Pac-Man if I wanted to.
No, that's Jer's job, isn't it?
Yeah, oh my God, don't. I might have to change my background to show that up otherwise. I'm gonna go with... It's got to be Rikimaru from Stealth Assassin, just because I think he's still one of the coolest characters to ever have been created. So yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, Lara.
Oh my God.
Lara says Kevin the dog from Overcooked. Amazing.
I was gonna say any character from Overcooked as well, because when I think about my very first game that I ever played and got really excited about and felt like I was learning from, it was Overcooked. So I would pick one of the chefs.
Amazing.
It's a good choice. It's a good choice.
This is strong.
I feel if I could not be in the E-Day time period, I'd probably pick Marcus Phoenix because I don't think I'm ever going to have that many muscles, and it would be nice just to imagine it for a day. Just to be jacked for a day, carry a huge gun, and to save the world. If I could do that for a day with no repercussions, that's who I would pick.
You're making me rethink my pick now.
I mean, I thought of the question this morning and I still don't have an answer because there's that many characters out there. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to be Geralt for a day. I just would. I'd love to be able to have different potions and have a physical form where it wouldn't really take that much effect on me, and I could keep downing potions and do it and I wouldn't die. Like, that's really cool in itself. And I'd be able to see underwater, and I'd be able to see in the dark, and I'd be able to fight the coolest monsters ever and get paid. I mean,
true.
And my best mate plays the lute, and I ride a horse, and I'd really like to be Geralt for a day. But then I'd love to be maybe Evie Fry for a day, and it is the Fry twins' birthday today, so happy birthday to Jacob and Evie Fry from Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It is their birthday, so maybe Evie Fry would be a good one too. I can't choose, but yeah, we'll go.
To be honest as well, Hannah, if people follow you at your Instagram handle, they can see you envisioned as Geralt.
Yes, they can.
So as Evangelist team, guys, we do have our handles down below us if you do want to follow us on our social, see what we're up to. But Hannah, I will let you explain what you posted recently.
Yeah,
before we continue.
Somebody I've known for a long time, one of my friends, posted a picture of me just as Geralt from the Witcher series, and it's pretty cool. It's in my highlights. If you go onto my profile and go into highlights, it's under there, and then it's me as Geralt in all my glory, which is quite funny because I've got the armor on and the gloves and the swords, and then I've got my little bandana, like my little retro polka dot bow in my hair as well.
Love it.
It's really cool. Thanks, Tom. Yeah,
amazing. But thank you very much, Hannah, for our quick fire questions.
Quick fire questions. You're welcome.
It's always fun. Chat always gets involved in it as well, which is always super appreciative. But we are here for a specific reason today with the Next Gen November, and Trista has kindly joined us for this as well to talk all things Xbox Series S. As I screamed at the start of the show, it is in fact the launch week. So it's something very much to get excited about. I've been posting loads on social media about it as well, just getting super hyped up about it, all the games, all those bits and pieces. But before we kind of delve properly into the console, I want to spend kind of 5-10 minutes just kind of talking about the fact that the Series S is a digital console. We've seen that, hasn't got a disk drive. And I want to talk about kind of digital games. Is this something that you buy? Do you use a digital title? Do you buy both physical and digital? Why? Is there a specific reason behind it? Though it's kind of interesting to talk about it in a sense of like Game Pass and games with gold as well, that like Xbox are kind of doing this kind of digital evolution, as Hannah put earlier, within this kind of space. And I think the Series S is really, really good for that. So I'll probably go to Rich first to kind of say, are you a digital gamer? Is it something that you're an advocate of, or do you still prefer to buy the physical games?
Yeah, it's a good question, Tom. Thank you very much for coming to me first. Yeah, I've been a digital gamer for a bit now. I'm trying to think when exactly that happened. I used to work within the video game environment in store, just like yourself, Tom. I'm not calling out any brand names. So I see the importance of having that disc and trading and stuff like that. But outside of that environment, I've definitely developed and changed. And a part of that is actually probably being a father.
Okay.
And the ability to have, because he's 13 years old now, so he has his own Xbox, and buying 2 copies of the same game just isn't within my budget. And we do the game share. We take full advantage of that, and we have the ability as well to buy the same game digitally, and also play it at the same time through that system. So absolutely digital. And then there's the second part for me as well, is that I do collect. This is where the conflict comes in. I'm not like you, Tom. I know you're a massive collector of all things, anything nerdy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And as you can see by me, I do collect a little bit. If I'm a massive fan of it, Gears of War is my favorite franchise. I'll probably still buy a physical copy for that whole collector's feel, my collector's disc and stuff like that. Will I put it into my Xbox? I might not ever, because I'm such a fan of digital and being able to play anywhere I want and to be able to re-download it. I sell my Xbox, I still have my disc, I still have a compatible title with it. I go to my friends or anything like that, or somewhere else where my Xbox isn't, I'm able to log in and still have access to my catalog whenever I want to. And then with Game Pass Ultimate as well, as you know, I jump between the two things. I jump between both the Xbox and the PC gaming. And with titles like Gears Tactics coming out, I've been playing that on PC for a while, but now I can choose to carry on my Xbox if I want to, because I just don't want to turn on my PC. I'm staring at my device all day. I don't want to have the game on the same device. I just turn around to another screen. I know that seems almost
just swivel the chair.
Yeah, counterproductive, but more screens. But yeah, I'm definitely a digital. I love just being able to access my games anytime I want to. So
yeah, definitely. I just want to kind of go on from what you were saying about being a collector. We had the comment in, and I'm probably going to butcher the name. Icon Guru Simp, maybe? I don't know. I'm really sorry if I butchered your name.
Ink. Hi, Ink.
Saying, I think the biggest attraction to box games really swings on special editions and limited edition runs. Any goodies and extras really factor into too, but digital releases are always miles into exclusive in-game content, swag and stuff like that. What I really like around that is a lot of developers started going, you know what, if you want to buy a collector's edition or you want to buy a special edition of a game, you can get all of that physical items included in the box, but they won't include the game anymore. So you can still buy that game digitally for exactly the same price. You're not buying the game twice or anything like that. So I think for me, that element of when like Gears of War 4 and Gears 5 came out is you could buy the special edition of that and you get the statue and all those bits and pieces, but it didn't include the game. I could then choose to buy the physical game or buy it digitally. And I think it's really clever that they've come to realize that collectors are also gaming aficionados. They love all of that, but they're probably all in that digital space already. So they're given the options, which I think is really, really cool.
Incongruous imp.
Incongruous imp. Okay. Thank you very much. I just can't read today. Thank you very much for clarifying.
I love people that have the most confusing names. I think, GG, if you can do it and you can make people stumble while they're reading the name out, then do it. Hey, why not?
Amazing. Hannah, what about you for
Hello.
digital?
So I remember the first game that I played digitally, and that was that I actually went out and bought digitally, and I stayed in and bought digitally, obviously, and that was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It was the first Assassin's Creed game that I bought, and I didn't have a physical disc for it, and I've always been one to have things physically. Like, I like physical CDs, I like vinyls, LPs, I like looking at the artwork and appreciating the physical thing in front of me. But then as I started gaming and didn't need that physical thing, it actually just made everything easier because you own it. It doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter if you break the disc. With me, it's breaking things, and I break everything and I lose everything, and I'm so clumsy. And then that didn't matter anymore because it just ties to your Microsoft account and you own it and that's yours and you keep it. And it's kind of, I love that. And then I got wowed by Game Pass, games with gold. And when you get games with gold and those games that are given to you and you're able to keep, then they're yours. And that's the same thing. They just link to your Microsoft account. So to have that, it kind of appealed to me more and more. And there's the odd games that I'm not a collector, weirdly. I'm not. I mean, I with me, I see things and I'm like, oh my God, I love that franchise and I want that specific thing. But sometimes it's not anything to do with the actual collecting edition that comes out. It can be like that somebody's made something and it's handmade. I'm like, oh, I really like that. So for me, I'm really specific of what I collect. But there's the odd games that I'll probably get. It's really weird for me, actually, because I'm thinking like, Assassin's Creed, the franchise, I've got every game. I love Assassin's Creed. It's one of my favorite franchises. I got Odyssey in a physical copy. I got Origins in a physical copy. But tomorrow I'm getting Valhalla digital because it just makes sense. And I think I've really turned that corner now. Like this year is the year I'm going to get Cyberpunk digital. I can't foresee any games that I'm getting now physically.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Well, you said to me earlier as well that out of the Series X and Series S, you're probably a Series S customer.
Yeah,
I
am.
It just kind of fits your lifestyle and fits the type of games that you play and all those bits and pieces. So that
100%.
digital kind of trend is gonna cater to that.
It is definitely, to be able to get the next gen performance in the smallest Xbox ever. Yep, that's me. That's all I need.
100%.
So yeah, that's my life story. Thank you very much for asking.
Trista, how about yourself when it comes to kind of digital titles? Is it something like, would you even class yourself kind of as a core gamer, or do you kind of dabble in and out of it? Is it more digital or physical for yourself?
Yeah, I thanks for asking that. I would not classify myself as a core gamer. I truly respect the core gamers, and they're really important to us. But I think I'm much more of just a casual gamer, and so for me, it's digital all the way. It's Game Pass Ultimate all the way. The accessibility is just, I think, unparalleled. And I also know from a business aspect how important it is. But I don't want to downplay the importance and the space for physical as well. I know that there are some people who that's the option that they prefer to use and they'll always use. And I absolutely respect that.
Thank you very much. I think similar to Rich as well, I used to work in a physical gaming retail store in the UK, and they had the kind of privilege of getting some discount on physical games. So when I was younger, I was all about saving as much money as possible to buy as many games as I could. When I left that retailer, I switched to 100% digital straight away. And I think the biggest draw for me, which you can now do with physical games with the power of the Xbox app, is to pre-download those games. So I could pre-order that game. It would download a week before launch. So bang on midnight, I can play that game. I don't have to then put a disc in and then wait for it to install. I remember going for the Fallout 4 midnight launch, got home, put the disc in. Oh, I've got to wait 3 hours before I can play it. So I may as well go to bed and play it the next day. Whereas now, whether it's physical or digital, with the Xbox app, you can pre-download those games so it's ready and raring to go. If you bought it digitally, you crack on. Or if you bought it physically, you pop that disc in and it's already installed on your console. I think that was the biggest thing for me. And that was the main reason I switched, was because it means I could just be ready to play as of midnight of that game launching. And that was the biggest draw for me. Amazing.
Do you want me to answer the question in chat?
Yes.
So, in regards to accompanies, the question here, are they still doing accompanying novels for AC, ebook, or hardcover? There is one for Valhalla, and it's called, and I'm awful at pronouncing things, Geirmund or Geirmund. If you do it in that voice, it sounds fine. Geirmund Saga. And it's an official tie-in novel to Valhalla, and it is going to be published by Penguin Books, and there's an audio book and a ebook as well for that. So yes, keep an eye
I was
out.
going to leave that question for you. It was an Assassin's Creed question, Hannah. It was all you. We've kind of talked a little bit about digital games, and for a very good reason of the Xbox Series S being a digital console. But I want to kind of move now into kind of really talking about the Series S and kind of what it means to gamers and how important it is as a console. So I'm probably going to kind of lead with Trista here. I know we had a chat beforehand around kind of this stream and all those bits and pieces and kind of things to talk about. And I think Trista's got some really kind of amazing kind of key things to kind of talk about when it comes to specifically the Series S. So I will hand over to Trista and she can educate us all about the world of Series S.
Thank you. Great, guys. So I was really excited to come and join this live stream today and talk about Series S, because I know that right now there's a ton of emphasis on Series X, whether you're watching all of the social media or all of the press reviews, just everything. There's so much attention on Series X, as it should be. That's our hero console. It's the absolute most powerful, best gaming experience that you can get out there. And so I understand that attention, but my job is to look at the entire hardware business, both in the short term and the long term, and to think about all of our gamers and what all of them are playing. And so in all of this excitement about Series X, I don't want us to lose sight of Series S and how important that console will be, not only for the business, but for so many gamers out there. And so one thing I just want to start with is just the total market opportunity. So if you think about all of the gamers in the world that are out there purchasing a console in a generation, right? We're talking 8 years of data. Only about 10% of those gamers are going to get a console that's above 450 pounds. Okay, so only 10% of the market is really going to get that premium console. When you think about that below 450 pound price point, those are all the consumers who are looking for a Series S. So really the opportunity there is really huge. And so this year, of course, Series X is going to be the bulk of our business. But as you think about next year and the years moving forward, Series S is really the volume driver for us. And so I think the work to really land that product has to be done now to really set us up in the future.
Yeah, and I think with the majority of like the guys that do watch us, especially live, are going to be those kind of people that work in retail, our retail professionals that kind of know everything about the products, and they're the ones conversing with customers. And I know we will have a lot of consumers watching as well. And I know that some people have said, they haven't been able to get a console on launch, that even if like through Christmas and through into next year, like the Series S is going to be an amazing console and give you the choice between the two. So it's a really good opportunity to kind of say that they're both amazing consoles. And yes, the marketing and all those bits and pieces have been around the Series X as the hero. But I think don't forget about the Series S. Like, it's an amazing console to still be in next-gen gaming, as Hannah put earlier, with smallest console, but next-gen.
It's awesome. It's got 4 times the processing power of the Xbox One console itself as a Series S. It's smaller. It's great for digital gamers. It's great for people that still have 360s and they want to upgrade. Go to the Series S. Do it. Like, experience that immersive experience. I'm excited.
And you can't really complain at 249, can you?
Oh no, of course not. It's I think it's going to do really well. I think as everybody's so hyped about the Series X, and rightly so, as Trista said, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff coming out, even the visuals for it and the advertisements for it, and it looks awesome. But I'd say don't be surprised that the Series S is just going to come and swoop in and win the hearts of a lot of people, because it's just an awesome console.
I've seen a lot of videos over the last couple of days. As Hannah will know, I've been playing a lot of Watch Dogs Legion. And there's been a lot of videos on YouTube from reviewers that have the Series S and have the Series X and actually playing these consoles. And they were playing Watch Dogs Legion on a Series S with ray tracing. And the amount of comments that came on those videos of, I can't believe this looks this good on a Series S. They kind of underpinned what the Series S was. They thought it was just a low power version, but there is so much power still in this console that, as you kind of said already, Hannah, it's don't put this console down. Like, it can perform exceptionally well. You're still going to get ray tracing. You're still going to get all its amazing features that you can get on the Series X, but you can see it on the Series S as well.
I think I was just going to say, I think that fans have been really excited by the price point, and that's absolutely true. And I don't want to lose sight that this is an incredibly accessible price point for a lot of people, and we should be excited about that. But I think sometimes when we say things like it's a next gen console, I think sometimes people don't understand what that means. And so talking about quick resume, talking about Xbox velocity architecture, talking about the speeds up to 120 FPS, like that's actually huge in a console. And so for a lot of people who aren't going to have a 4K TV, this is absolutely the right console for them.
I mean, just imagine hooking it up to a monitor, like a really nice HD monitor, and seeing the frame rates, and it'll look good as well. So if you've got a small minimalistic space and you've got a nice monitor and you've just got your small console, it'll look awesome.
It will look wicked.
Yeah.
Rich, what about yourself? I know we've been doing a lot of talking here, but I think kind of following on, the reason I've kind of wanted to speak to you as well is from Flapper's comment of going, I would eventually get both X for him, but the S for like the wife and family and kind of up and coming gamers when it comes to like his 4-year-olds. How do you kind of see the S propositioned in kind of your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, my one's for 13 years old, and would he notice the difference between an X and an S? No, he probably wouldn't. And this is a more affordable option for him. Absolutely, 100%. And that's only really part of it, isn't it? You're absolutely 100% right to reference the 360, Hannah. Let's face it, 10 years in a row, that console was console of the year, and it was that for a reason. That's because it wasn't just a console; it was a media center.
Yeah.
You know, we did everything through it.
Yeah.
Netflix, the lot, all through it. Watch videos, download stuff, surf the internet. We did it all through that console, and that's exactly what the S represents, is that affordable option. We can still game on it, and what a generation jump as well that these two consoles have made, right? A noticeable generation jump, and it shows that it's not just about 4K gamers. That's for your core gamers and people with 4K TVs that want to just to use their 4K TVs to the fullest and make that investment worth it. It's not just about that. It's about the gameplay. It's about the usage out of that machine. And you know, when you look at it, it's not just about the dad with the son trying to save a bit of money, but it's all about the students as well, who will have these in their accommodations, in their rooms, that use them like they did with the 360s as their media center, because they can do everything with it. So yeah, that's what it is for me. And I'm excited about that. I kind of want one, but I'm like, no, I need the 4K. So,
but then again, you're a kind of a core gamer as well, and I think the point you made there, I think, is a really, really good segue, and it wasn't planned at all, which I think is brilliant. Is you talking about entertainment? And I know I think it was last week before, the Xbox Wire post came out and said that all of these entertainment apps are going to be coming to Series X and Series S on launch. A lot of them have been part of the Xbox One ecostructure in the past, but we've got the likes of like Apple TV now coming into Xbox, and the fact that Disney Plus, like all those applications, all these brand new streaming platforms becoming now, you don't need multiple boxes. You don't need to just have a smart TV now. You could have, as Hannah said, a normal monitor, but plug in a Series S and it becomes a smart TV, or a smart monitor, we'll call it.
Yo, smart monitor.
I have a question, because it just popped into my head. Does it like with the One S? Does it stream in 4K?
If you pay for the subscription, yes.
Like on Netflix, we have to pay for that little bit extra for the 4K versions, but we can do that, right? And that so with Disney, so I can watch the certain other space themed. I'm conscious that I'm shouting out brand names. I'm really sorry about that. Other streaming services are available, but there are programs on there. One I'm watching with a little green, cute thing at the moment. I can watch that stream that in 4K, right? So,
yes. Stream in 4K, same as you can with the One S. And if you do plug the Series S into a 4K TV, it will upscale and checkerboard to 4K as well. So when you're gaming, which is amazing. So yeah, all the features of the One S plus more when it comes to the Series S, which I think is just brilliant. And having all of these entertainment apps just coming in, going, you know what? Don't have multiple boxes under your TV. Have one really small one. And you can still get that all and use it as you wish, whether that's you're a student, it's a family, it's just a normal gamer that just wants to play games. It's all those availabilities are there for you, which is awesome.
I think it's really cool as well, talking about entertainment systems and the amount of access that you have to these entertainment applications through the Series S, is that you aren't losing out on anything when it comes to the amazing sound that you get through both of these consoles. And I think we need to shout more about spatial sound and the Dolby Atmos support, because it's something that you don't miss out on by having the S. It still has it, which is even cooler.
I think one of the big things when I've been kind of talking through training and I'm going through with the retail guys that we've been doing as part of my kind of day job, as much as I wish this was everything that I did, kind of talking to them and going, there's like I've got a slide that's like kind of ticks like, oh, the Series X has this, the Series S has this. There's only 3 things that the Series S doesn't have that the Series X have, and that's the fact that it's a disk drive. It can't 4K native gaming, and it's not the world's most powerful console as a tagline, but it is the smallest Xbox with next gen performance. But the Series X and Series S can do exceptionally similar things. So yeah, there's not much between them. It's just really that kind of core power and performance where you're going to see the difference. And that's depending on the type of gamer you are. As Trista was saying earlier, like you have that choice of the Series X is there if you want it, but the Series S is like, yeah, don't leave it behind. It's an amazing thing to shout out.
And I don't want to downplay the incredible experience you're going to get on Series X either. Like to be very clear, our fans, the folks who have been waiting from midnight tonight to get their console, like it is going to be the absolute best experience that you can have playing. But I think there are going to be a lot of gifters this holiday. I think there are going to be a lot of folks who see the content that's going to come to Xbox. We've obviously made some pretty public acquisitions and want to be a part of that. And so I think Series X plays really well with content seekers. I think it plays really well with new to Xbox folks who aren't sure if they want to make the leap on a 449 console. I think this is really a great entry point into the Xbox ecosystem.
Yeah. And it's as a gift, as you've just said, like I'd love a Series S as a gift, and to have that coupled with like Game Pass Ultimate, and you've got all your digital titles there, and one of the new controllers. I mean, yeah, I'd be more than happy with that for a gift, 100%. Oh.
Yeah, and I think that's the great thing.
Nudge.
So if anyone wants to buy me one,
Hannah will happily receive a gift of a Series S plus a controller plus some Game Pass Ultimate. And like we mentioned at the beginning, and we've had Derek Smith join over on Facebook. So welcome, Derek. Saying he's just been joining. He's been working today, working in Dixon's, working the door, making sure that everybody is safe, and all those bits and pieces. Saying, what have I missed? Well, Derek, today we have spoken as much as we can about the Series S specifically as a console, why it's still an amazing choice, and some of the kind of features behind it. It's available on both Series S and X. So yeah, at the end of the stream, feel free to go back, watch the video on demand to see everything that you missed. Don't forget to answer those quick fire questions as well. I can't remember the point I was going to make now.
Can I ask a little question?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Go for it.
Just about, because last time we touched on the Series X and how good looking it is as a console, and how everything's sort of been built. All the cool features are there, and then they've built around it to make sure everything's in there and it fits like the vision. And then we've got the Series S, which looks very different. And I just wondered what everybody thinks about the actual physical look of the Series S. I think it looks awesome. I think it looks really, really cool, and it's different to what we've seen before. Console-wise, I think it's very, very different. So I just wondered what everyone thought about the physical look of the Series S.
I think it's so recognizable already, right? You only have to see a silhouette of it, and you automatically know that's an Xbox Series S. And first of all, that's good marketing. Well done, guys. And then secondly, it's a meme magnet, and it's brilliant. So. I've loved the memes for it. So yeah.
And I think we had a comment earlier about that Xbox as a company have like really embraced that. They haven't shied away from it, and I think that's really helped in like the consumer mindset of going, you know what, we can take the mick out of you, but you're actually absorbing it and making it fun. And Xbox has always been a fun place to play games. It's always been the best place to play games, and I think having that kind of social and community aspect of it is just phenomenal. And I think a lot of people have respected that. Even the diehard PlayStation fans or your Nintendo fans that go look at it and go, yeah, fair play. Like, it's an amazing thing. And kind of recognize that brand as well, as you were saying, Rich, is, you know, it's an Xbox now without even having to look at the badge. I think the guys who have designed this and have marketed it have done an amazing job to go, yeah, you don't need to see the Xbox Nexus on the front. You know exactly what you're looking at. And that silhouette is great. And I think the favorite thing for me is that when Phil Spencer was talking about the Series X, or maybe announcing the Series X on his kind of video chat, is that he had a Series S on the bookshelf
Yes,
behind
no
him,
one noticed.
and no one
Nobody
noticed it. And I think it was
Ah.
just so clever to go, you know what, this is the smallest Xbox we've ever made, and you're not going to necessarily recognize it or see it in a room. It blends in to that kind of environment, which everyone loves smart technology at the moment. Like they'll buy smart home speakers and all those bits and pieces that fit into the environment, so it doesn't look like you have a piece of technology like stood on a sideboard. I think the Series S and X have done an amazing job of, just blending into the environment, which I think is great.
Yeah, the engineering, and I actually have one here. If you guys,
go on then,
please,
please do.
Yes,
That clang. Oh my god!
It's obviously no plug here, but just wanted to show you how thin we're talking. But yeah, so that the engineering team, we got to meet with them and kind of talk about how they thought about Series S, how they thought about Series X, and the lengths that they went to ensure that these products could fit in homes and fit everywhere that you want to place them. They were literally building IKEA shelving units in the office, making sure that a Series S and a Series X could fit however way you stood it or laid it, to ensure that it really fit with all sorts of households. So just the thought that went into the design to make sure that it could perform in the ways that we needed it to perform, but really to fit with your lifestyle, I think it just can't be understated.
Yeah, 100%. And it's nice to actually hear that they've not just gone, oh, it's this size, yeah, it'll fit, I'm just going to assume it's going to fit. They've actually gone, you know what? We're going to build a load of IKEA furniture and a load of different furniture and go, we're going to make sure it fits.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. I always say, like, in a relationship, you should always build an IKEA furniture set together, because then you'll see the real arguments come out. I dread to think how many arguments happen in the Xbox office trying to build flat pack furniture.
Yeah, you would hope with a group of engineers they would know how to do it, but you never know.
Very true. Very true. IKEA furniture is all. Other flat pack furniture is available. I've realised that I've said that brand a lot. It is also notorious that you think it's going to be easy, but it never is. So it's really nice to hear that they've kind of put that thought process into it, making sure that it's accessible to everybody, and you're not going to be kind of limited to where you put it, which I think is really, really cool. Amazing. Well, guys, I think, is there anybody else want to make any other kind of points? Anything you want to talk about when it comes to the Series S? Guys in chat, is there anything that you want us to talk about? We've got between now and 15 minutes kind of left before we're going to kind of finish up, depending on kind of if anybody else wants to talk about anything or any key points.
I'm going to be really annoying and ask Trista to hold up the Series S again, because I pressed the wrong camera when she was doing it last time.
I was wondering about that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't mind, but I thought maybe I was not seeing myself correctly.
There you go.
So,
are you doing it, Hannah, or am I?
You do it, because I break everything, Tom.
Okay. There we go.
Amazing.
Richard.
Sorry,
my Vanna White moment.
It is a lot smaller than you actually thought.
Very,
anyway.
very small. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And if you
That's
just
crazy.
look,
It's how clean
sorry,
it looks.
yeah. In terms of just like, check
it
that
literally just
out.
fits in your hands.
Yeah, it's tiny, tiny.
That's what I'm kind of comparing it to, is like you actually physically holding it in your hands. Like you try and relate it to objects that you know, and it's kind of taking like a human hand as a size comparison. It is small, which I love.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Trisha,
your nails look really nice as well.
I just did them last night for my Vanna White moment. So there you go.
Flapper asking, Trista, have you got a spare one that you can post out? He's happy to pay for shipping.
Get in the queue.
Listen, if I had to say there's one thing, if I had a crystal ball, which I wish, or if I had a magic wand, I wish I would just create more consoles, because I think that, and Phil has already said this, like there will absolutely be more demand this year worldwide than supply that we've got. So unfortunately, I don't have a host sitting around that I can just ship to you. But if I did, I promise I would.
No, I think hopefully, Derek, that kind of answers your question as well. You're saying, obviously, what's stock availability like? It's happening. We're living in a world at the moment that's very different and very strange. And I know the guys at Xbox are doing their best to try and get as much stock out to all the regions as possible. It is just going to be the case of just unfortunately sitting tight a little bit. I know that's not exactly what you want to hear. You want me to say that there's going to be 1 million units coming in and it's going to go everywhere, but it will happen as soon as it possibly can. I promise you that, Derek. So yeah, please sit tight, please be patient, and hopefully customers will understand as well. It's the holiday period is always busy, but I think especially in the world we're living in at the moment, it's even busier. So yeah, we appreciate the patience that you guys are giving. It is hugely appreciated. Amazing. Well, guys, I think we're going to probably call it there. I think everyone has said everything they want to say. But yeah, shout out to the Series S, and a massive thank you to Rich and to you, of course, Trista, for joining us on this call today. It's hugely appreciated that you guys have taken the time out of your busy day, and Trista, especially yourself. I know you must be absolutely going 1,000,000 miles an hour at the moment. So yeah, really appreciate taking the time.
I do have just one quick thing. If everybody, I don't know, I hope that everybody is planning to watch the live stream tonight, 6 p.m. The Xbox On team have worked incredibly hard on the live stream. It's going to have gameplay, it's going to have giveaways and contests, and we're actually going to show this incredible out-of-home piece that we've built. I don't want to share too much ahead of time, so you can tune in via Twitch or via the Xbox On channel. So
Amazing.
make sure you join.
Because that's on the 10th, isn't it? Is it on
tonight?
Is it tonight?
6 p.m. tonight until midnight. Yeah.
And that's the Xbox On team.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll make sure. I couldn't remember because I know I've seen some of the official launch streams, which I think they're saying on the 10th, and obviously time differences are always rather confusing. So it was just making sure we're joining the right one. No, that's amazing. Yeah, guys, make sure you tune into that tonight at 6. Planning to be excited for, and to build up that excitement, ready for launch tomorrow.
Yes.
So
and then the streams don't stop there. So that means the streams tonight and streams tomorrow. So yeah, let's, as a community, just join in and get really hyped and excited. Yeah, none of us have got anything better to do. So make sure you definitely watch.
Definitely. So we've got a couple of official streams. We've got myself and Hannah and Rich going to be doing his power of production in the backgrounds for tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We're doing our launch day stream for an hour. We are going to be doing some giveaways as well. So make sure that you join into that live stream to be a chance to win some giveaways. So yeah, plenty to look forward to. And we'll have a little promo image at the end just to hype it up a little bit more. But yeah, as I've said, a massive thank you to Rich and Trista for joining us in today's stream. A huge thank you for everyone that's been in chat, asking questions and engaging with us. It's always hugely appreciated. You guys stopping by. I know you guys are busy as well. And a big thank you to you, Hannah, for, as always, being the wonderful host.
Oh, well, a big thank you to you, Tom, because we couldn't do it without you. We could, but it just wouldn't be as I don't know, Tom-esque, I guess.
It wouldn't be as Tom-esque. Maybe that's the point. Yes. But at that point, guys, I want to say thank you very much for joining. We are doing more live streams this week and next week. And we've got Next Gen November for Videocast as well. So hopefully we'll see you on a future stream. But until next week, guys, we will see you then. Cheers, guys. Bye. Trista just left.